Peter and the Gentiles.
Wow, what a lesson we have as an example of the missionary work of Peter, the first one to go to the Gentiles and the first one to wrestle between the unchangeable divine absolutes and the customs and the unimportant practices that the Jews had. Jesus saw something in Peter that probably we would have missed.
What a mission for Peter. To bring about an integrated church, unifying Gentile converts who were unaware of the finer points of Jewish culture, and Jewish converts whose traditions tended to take over the character of divine absolutes.
And firstly, he speaks at the Pentecost to a diverse group of people who came to Jerusalem, Jews living abroad, but also a lot of foreigners who were visiting Jerusalem. The whole act is initiated by the Holy Spirit. In the Bible it says it's the noise of the violent blowing wind coming from heaven that attracted all these people at this place. And Peter felt like he has to convey a message that was going far beyond the walls of Jerusalem.
What better start of the Great Commission could we expect? Addressing every language and culture. So much power and symbolism here. We're used to think that Paul was the one who brought up the gospel to the Gentiles, but Peter opened the way for the gospel to go to about 15 nations.
It is as interesting as miraculous how God sets up an appointment between Peter and this Roman centurion, Cornelius. An angel spoke to both of them separately. There was an important message to be conveyed, and you might think of Cornelius, but not only. Peter, probably for the first time, will enter into a pagan's home, will talk to Gentiles under their roof, and will eat with them, and all by God's order. No way.
Very serious and deep process of change. Study the verses and reflect on how difficult it is to change one's religious view, especially with so strong traditions.
Peter witnessed the amazing transformation in Cornelius' heart. He and his circumcised companions watched the gift of the Holy Spirit being poured out on these Gentiles. Peter stood in front of the dilemma. Should I or would I accept what I see and what I hear, or would I not? Today we are also very much sunken into some traditional practices that are holding the gospel back. Can I be more like Peter? Is there more room in my heart for childish trust when God reveals?
Where is our focus? Many of us will focus on something is wrong with Peter. He's staying with those repulsive people that handle dead bodies. And he has weird visions with all kind of animals. And others will see an amazing transformation in this story and salvation.
And also a good point in the lesson is that although all people are acceptable to God, not all religions are equally acceptable. This is where our and not an angel's mission awaits, to educate people about true salvation.
How do we show respect for those people whose faith we believe is wrong, without giving the impression that we respect those beliefs ourselves? What a question here in the lesson. We have so much to learn and to grow.
And finally, it was Peter's leading role in crafting the Jerusalem decree, by which no one was obligated or expected to follow the law of Moses except with few exclusions. And it took time. It followed a process of realization. But those who followed with pure hearts, they moved ahead, and the gospel was spread around. Probably some had a hard time, and they stayed behind.
From the lesson, experienced missionaries learn to identify core Christian beliefs, issues, and keep the focus on them, as opposed to getting bogged down with things that are not essential to the faith. Happy discussing!